as we go to the football mad city of Columbus, Ohio, and Keith Jackson.
Joe Paterno, the head coach at Penn State University, whose Nittany Lions are going to the Cotton Bowl New Year's Day, will be joining us as our analyst and commentator. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. I'll be calling the play today. Our commentator and analyst is the head football coach at Penn State University, whose Nittany Lions are headed for the Cotton Bowl. A man who, over the last 5 years, has compiled a record, 6 years rather, of 56-7. One of the great coaches in the country, Joe Paterno. He looks like you're ready. All he needs is a hard hat and get in there, Joe.
I tell you, it's got to be, Keith. This is really an exciting football game. I'm really looking forward to it.
You look at the history of the Ohio State Buckeyes with a record of 9-1. You see ball control.
I think that's going to be maybe the key to the whole football game, especially early in the game, whether Ohio State, when they get the football, can do what they've done to other people. Just take it, control it in a precise way to see whether Michigan can come up with that attacking defense of theirs and force them into some 2nd and 10 situations like that. I think that's going to be one of the key things early in the football game. Ohio State getting the football, being able to keep it without Michigan kind of forcing the line of scrimmage.
Of course, the Michigan defense, as you study that, equals field position for the Wolves.
Exactly. Michigan's had that ball. The other teams had the ball in Michigan territory several times and not been able to score because Michigan does force on defense and makes the other people go a longer way than they want to go.
In this particular ball game, the forward pass has been a missing factor.
Well, I think maybe that the key again to the football game as to whether we're going to have a high-scoring game or not will be whether somebody decides to throw the ball early. Somebody decides to throw it early and has some success with it, may open up the whole football game for us.
There is certainly no shortage of emotion for it from any segment of the population having to do with this game.
Now, you could feel it everywhere. You could feel it in town last night. You could feel it this morning. You can especially feel it right now. Not only, I'm sure, up here in the stands, but down on that sideline, there are a lot of young people determined to play a great football game.
Joe, nice to have you with us. Right now, let's spend a moment with Bill.
Yeah, that was a great kick coverage situation, and now Ohio State's got a long way to go, and we'll find out now whether they can dominate the line of scrimmages. They have done in just about every game that they've started with the football. You'll see now that he has a man open. He overthrows it a little bit. He's in a nice position in that zone. He got right in the right seam, and Green just overthrew him a little bit. I guess maybe a little bit jittery early in the football game, but it looks like Ohio State's going to start right out throwing that football and keep it loose. They were in great position in all 3 of those plays, actually, and they're ready. They're heads up right now. Some good blocking up front there and a nice block by the lead fullback on that play. It looks like Michigan's going to do what we thought Ohio State might do. They're going to try to test that inside of Ohio State's line. Go right at them. They're in great field position. They can put together a couple of first downs. They'll be in that 4-down area. That's a big first down, Keith. They get another one right now, and they're, as I said, in the 4-down area. They get a chance to 4 downs to make a first down, and they're in good position to get on the scoreboard first, which I think psychologically is a big thing in a football game of this stature. Keith, that was a great play fake by Franklin, and Chapman came across from the slot position and just found an opening spot in there, and Franklin just put it right on the button. That was a great football play. As you see, here's Chapman. Now they're faking away from Chapman. Now he just works in that open area, gets the ball, makes the man miss him, makes a beautiful cut on that nice downfield block by the tight end. And that's a really big league play. That's a great way for Michigan to start. It was a great play to call, great call, 1st and 10 after that first down, and Ohio State all tough, trying to stop their runs, stop another first down. It was just a great play, a great call by the Ohio State.
I would imagine, Joe Paterno, that every time Archie Griffin moves today, there will be some member of that Michigan defensive unit moving with him.
Well, so many of the plays that Ohio State uses are very similar to what the Michigan people use, and I think that they're familiar with them, and they'll be in good position for most of the runs. They may have some trouble with some other stuff. Now, Bashnagel is open here early, Keith, and now it's really not a deliberate pass interference, as you can see. He just was trying to get in position, intercept the ball, and bumped him a little bit. It's a great bit of running. He's an awfully powerful young man around the thighs and in the hips. He shakes off people very well. Here again, we have a big play for Ohio State. If they can make this first down and get that ball in the 4-down area, they get some things going for them, because if they can score on this drive, they'll take away some of that psychological edge that Michigan may have gathered.
Perhaps not as big a man as you might expect to find playing the middle guard position in Big Ten football.
But very quick, and Michigan does a lot of stunning with him, a lot of looping. He very rarely plays smack into that center. He's going to go to his right or left most of the time, or get in a gap to offset his lack of weight. The option play is not nearly as effective into the sideline because you don't have as much room to run wide. as it is to the open field. And Woody will play his extra man, his rover, back to the open field most of the time and force Michigan, I think, to run wide into the sideline and probably run off tackle to the open field. Two things on that play, Keith, that were just great football. Number one, the Michigan people blocked into everybody on that Ohio State line, stood them up, nobody got off a block, created a crack, and Bell found the crack and accelerated through it as a good back should and made himself a good play out of it. Ohio State defensive line is going to have to start taking off a little bit better than they are right now. They're kind of sitting in there catching a little bit. They're not really firing into those people, and except on that short yardage play, they've been kind of sitting back and getting and catching rather than taking off a little bit. I think they're going to have to start moving across it to stop them. I'd say that left tackle, that quick tackle for Michigan, is doing a great job. He's had 2 fine blocks on that play in a row, and he's hitting into that man and turning him very well. Now, this, let's look at the center, Steve Myers, in here. Franklin, go right into the Michigan boy Jones and just do a great job. All right, look at that. That's just a great job.
That is Franks, number 50.
Good Pennsylvania boy. This is Smith now in the isolation. Watch him run down here. Does a nice move. Breaks out. And Franklin delivers this ball under a lot of pressure, and he's on the target right here, and 2 people go up for it. Great play by Koji. That's not a good throw by Franklin. They're in field goal position. He shouldn't throw that ball up for grabs where it might be intercepted. That gives up a scoring opportunity, but it was, that'll happen once in a while.
He had pass protection that time, Joe. I thought perhaps that he could have exercised a little more patience.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that ball away when you got a chance to get 3 points. He looks like he can fly too, Keith. Got a nice hole there, and he was ready to take off. It's like sitting on a keg of dynamite playing defense against these people. That's a big defensive play for Michigan. Not only forces Ohio State into a passing situation, also gets them out of field goal range.
Laban kept his poise and drilled it. 47 yards. But he did have the wind at his back.
Makes you wonder whether maybe Michigan should have called timeout just before that quarter was over. Made him kick it into the wind. Strinko makes a nice move up into the line, then comes laterally, goes in between those 2 blocks, and then he really pops him like you're supposed to hit him. Gets that head in there and lifts him a little bit and knocks him back. Ohio State is starting to work into the sideline as we thought Michigan would against Ohio State there. Michigan's got their wolf man out, Dufek out to the open field, and Ohio State's running back in here into the sideline. There's Elia. He reads the play and plugs. Now, this is what Ohio State's going to have to do. They're going to have to get in there and stop Michigan now, not let them get in position for a field goal, because then they've got to play behind with the wind in their face, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to have to throw that football if they don't, in order to get caught up. I don't think Ohio State's going to get careless and just throw that football, even though they've got long yardage. They may go on a rollout, and if the guy's wide open, throw the football, or Green will run it. But I don't think they want to take a chance throwing that football on a passing down into that wind right now. Sometimes the fans wonder why Ohio State wouldn't throw the football when they were 3rd down and 12, 14 like that. But with a kicker like Gildani and the way they're playing defense now, that you play it a little bit safer than you would ordinarily if you didn't have good defense and good kicking.
Baylor and SMU, if the Baylor Bears win that, the Baptists are going to be in the Cotton Bowl for the first time in their history.
It's kind of interesting to me.
I would say so, because Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions will be in the Cotton Bowl New Year's Day. Here.
They gave the linebacker the bait. They faked to the fullback, and the linebacker went up in there and left that alley wide open for Chapman. Ohio State's been playing so aggressively against the run. Michigan's got to do some of those things to keep those linebackers out of all the running plays. I think right now Ohio State's going to have to take a little chance on defense and try to get Michigan in a 2nd and 12, something like that. They've got to stop them pretty quick.
Now what do?
I'd punt.
It would be a 59-yard effort at a field goal, which we used to say was absurd, but I remember a fellow who kicked 163 one time.
I'm pretty sure they'll punt. I don't know, but I can't read. But I think they punt. Hope they can play good defense. Now they're going to go for the field goal. I guess he's got that kind
of. Well, Dave Lawson.
Now we're going to ISO on Dufek here. Watch Dufek go right in on Green, and Green really keeps his cool. He's out of the fake and just throws that thing right through his hands. A great play. I tell you, that's a clutch call, but it was one that Ohio State had to make. I think they had to have a first down, and I think it was a great call and a great play. It was a fine football.
This might be a time when Michigan's defense should gamble.
They'll gamble. They'll be up there. Those linebackers will be tight, and they'll be coming. Now, this is the time, if Ohio State's got anything that they haven't shown that they've saved, any kind of reverse or something, where they could maybe get that first down or without having to throw the football. I don't know whether they've got something special saved. Sometimes you save a play for just a situation like this.
3rd down and 8 from the 41. And give it to Bashnagel, cutting back on the counter, and the wingback gets maybe 2 yards, and that's all. And so Michigan holds them. It'll be 4th down, and Ohio State will have to kick it. It was Jeff Perlinger, number 97, who refused to move on that play. He did not take the fake. He just waited. Got his man.
We were on the same page. They went with the counter. I thought maybe if they had a wide reverse, it might have been a little, helped them out a little bit there. I don't think they want to just come out and start throwing that football right away. I mean, you know, all the time. I think he's got a lot of time, 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Got all that timeouts left. They got plenty of time to put together a good drive, get them in field goal position. In fact, I think right now maybe they'd go with the draw or some play that would get them maybe 5 or 6 to put a little pressure on that Ohio State defense. Give them a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.
37-yarder. This one is from 33 yards. The wind is at his back. Only 18 seconds to play in the ball game. The placement is good. The kick, it is up. It is no good. But Joe Paterno, it looked like everything went just fine.
I thought he had it from this angle, but Keith, I just want to make one comment on what a great college football game this is, and regardless of winning or losing, it's been enough glory on this football field today for 2 strikes. It's been a great football game, and